Okay, so this time, I'm still in this side right position. So when we're playing this position, guys, my knee is beside his knee. My hip is beside his hip. My elbow is pinching his far hip. Okay, so I want my chest right in the middle of his back. So wherever he's moving, I can put pressure, weight on him. Locking harness control again. Sometimes when you lock this, the guy will make a pull-up grip on this choking arm, which is really good. If this was gi, I would be finding the lapel and looking for the cloth choke and all this stuff. So him grabbing two hands on this is very, very common. If that's the case, what I'm going to do is roll him over his right shoulder. So, unfortunately I can't roll him. Why? Because his head's in the way. So I put my right shoulder in the back of his neck and tilt his head. I put my chin on his chest, on his shoulder, his left shoulder, and now I'm connected to him. So wherever I go, he goes. So I tilt him, and as I roll him over, I open my legs, and now I'm on the back. Okay, see the way Matty's turned slightly? Okay, I've kind of, because I lost my connection with him, because now where's my sternum? It should be in the middle of his back, but it's in the shoulder. So before I try to do anything, we want to get our alignment back. So from there, I take my hook, I put it behind his knee, I tilt him slightly, and now I'm nearly here. Put my hook in, now we play the game. I go for that last move. He's made baseball bat control, I grab his wrist, may I help you? Go for that wrist lock, he releases. So now from there, I go for that police brutality. I just take out my hook, I bring it behind, put it back in again. Sometimes though, you just can't. Some people are really flexible and you can't get that arm. Doesn't matter, I just straighten it back down and use my hook to clamp it. As I pull my arm out, try to get that back, I'm pinching with my knee. From there, I can't do the tricky arm bait, which we did on the other system, the underhook system. Why? Because the mat's in the way. I can't hook it with this leg. This leg's on the bottom. So all he has is a tucked chin and one arm. I've got two arms, okay, so I need to get rid of this first of all. So from that position, I use that bulldozer, the strip off. So from there, I wipe it off. I find the finger of the thumb. As I push it off, I make a grip, C grip. So he can't go anywhere with it. And I pass it from my left to my right. Okay, so it doesn't matter where he goes with that grip, I have it. Now I deal with this tucked chin. So I'm just going to bend his head back, but rather than my hand going on his head and pulling this way, which is using my biceps, I put my forearm across his neck and my left hand goes on his right ear. From there, I just bend him back till expose the neck. Now it's a race to see who can get their arm to defend the neck. It'll be me because I'm winning the inside track. So from there, I just find the shoulder. So two ways of finishing. I can go hand to hand and go for a modified rear naked, which is an air choke where I can just drag my elbow back. Or if I've got the crook of my arm under his chin, I find my bicep, this goes in the back of the head, and I just connect my elbows. So let's look at that again. Turtle position, side right, I make the connection. The second he latches onto that arm with both his arms or a baseball bat grip, I'm connected. So dangerous for me as well, because wherever he goes, I go. So before he can do anything and work his escapes from this position, I put my shoulder in the back of his head, so I just push it down. Then I put my chin on his left shoulder and I'll use my feet to roll him over his right shoulder. Over my legs, I put my hooks in. Okay, but I'm taking him to the strong side, the choking side, okay, and we'll continue the system again. So again, from here, may I help you? This time, he hides his wrist, goes for that reverse motorcycle grip, I do the wipe off. I make the grip. I go for that police brutality, I take my hook out, bring it behind, maybe I'm not getting it, bugging the neck for the choke, tie it up. I cannot let him get this free, okay? So from there, I have to deal with one arm and a tucked chin. So from that position, I just wipe that off. Make a C clamp, a C grip, and then I switch. Now I deal with this tucked chin. So my left hand finds his right ear. So I'm using my lats and core to bend him back. Once his throat's exposed, it's a race. Who can get their arm to defend the neck first? But my right arm is inside, so it's a race I'll win every time. I want to get my right hand on his shoulder. Okay? If the crook of my arm is under his chin, it's rear naked time. Making sure that I don't do that. Because anytime my hand comes in front, he can grab it, and now I'll not give it back. So you want to make sure that my left arm stays behind the peripheral vision, or his shoulders. Okay? So it comes from behind. Right hand finds the bicep. Left hand, I like a fist on the back of his neck. And to finish, I just connect my elbows. One more time. Side right position. He makes double grips. I put my shoulder in his neck, chin on his shoulder, and I use my feet to drive him all the way over. Hooks in. I've lost my alignment, so I'll get it back before I start to work the system. Make the grip. May I help you? This time I'm not even going for the police brutality. I just stuff this and tie it up. I pull my hand out. From there, he's defending this choke with this hand. There's his thumb. Bulldoze it off. Make a grip. Pass it. Find the head. Bend it back. Rear naked. Okay, let's drill.